City are 90 minutes away from winning the Premier League for the first time.
Goal! Breathtaking.
Champion.
Aguero!
93-20, madness.
We're City. We don't do it the easy way.
93-20, forever in our history. And for this season, it's woven into our fabric. Manchester, it's a different city.
Champions.
Champions!
Very good evening to you all at home. Thank you for joining myself, Kel Spellman, and Mr. Nadim Anua. It finishes 2-0 in our first pre-season friendly here at the CFA against Preston North End. Goals from Riyad Mahrez and Sam Edozie. A second half, I think, to be enjoyed. Lots of young talent on show there, and thought they did themselves proud.
Yeah, they certainly did. You know, they tried to play the game the right way, you know, in the City way. And, you know, at certain parts, you could see that the Preston players were maybe half a step ahead, that little bit stronger and so on. But the City guys, they took them to task, you know, they gave it their all. They competed. And the fact is, you know, they've won that second half 1-0 as well. So every credit to them.
Really, really is. And you know, I was looking at it going, obviously, because you look at them as some are 17, 18, and you look at the Preston team, who are a lot of them, big men, you know. It's, I mean, I've tried it sometimes. I know that I just get, I mean, you've shoved me aside many times in celebrations.
Once or twice,
But you look and go, actually, I felt they held their own, actually, against the team of men, I think, which says a lot.
They did, they definitely did. As I say, there were some players for City who obviously are physical, like Sandler and so on, but you know, for some of the players further up the field for City, that you can see that they're not quite developed physically yet to the level where they'll probably be throughout their careers.
Yeah.
But they still put themselves about, you know, and that's key, because the fact is, you know, you can do well in your age group, but when you get to a first team, it's men's football. And for some of those guys, even though they're not quite there physically yet, they can still throw people around, and just love to see it. For
them, I don't know if you heard this name, but is it kind of a nice little, one of the best tests you can get just to see where you're at and where you're holding yourself at, kind of the you know, men that are playing the game professionally for a club like Preston?
Yeah, it certainly can be. I don't think necessarily everybody at City in that team would have an understanding of what it's like to play in the Championship, because that's like, that's a test. Yeah, that is a test. But some of those guys have felt it today. You know, some of the guys who may be thinking about, can I go on loan? Can I try and get some first team football somewhere? Like, playing against Preston is a good example of what it's like to play in that division. Technically, they're good players, the players for Preston, but these are guys who are 100% committed all of the time, and you need to match that. I think to give the City players credit, they definitely did that today.
They really, really did. And we scored 2 goals, which we're going to bring you now. We'll bring you the first one from the first half. It came from none other than Riyad Mahrez. Of course, it came from a little free kick. It was a great one from Cole Palmer. And we spoke about his ball control as well, didn't we? I think
look at this. He should have lost that about 20 seconds ago, but he still keeps on his feet. And the way they're all just able to just manipulate the ball under pressure, you know, it's great. And, well, I say it's great. I think it's great now that I've retired. But then Riyad stands right over it, and he's clearly fancying it. And I think this is a really, really nice free kick, because that's a big wall for Preston.
Yeah.
That's a very big wall. And at times myself, I knew that if I was on a wall and it went over my head, chances are it's probably going to be a goal. And that was, that was a really, really good finish from Riyad.
Do you see the 2 City players when they're in the wall? Are they used as a bit of a marker for Mahrez then? I
think it depends, but for most times that I see it, a goalkeeper's trying to look, and there's basically 8-9 people standing in front of him, and to be able to get to a shot, it's more likely to save it if nobody was there. So then if you don't see it straight away, you've got less time to try and save it. And I think that's a prime example of that, because it worked out perfectly.
Second goal came from one of the young lads, Sam Edozie, who I thought had a really great second half. We can bring you that second goal now. Some really kind of lovely football actually here, Nadim.
They were moving the ball around really, really well. You know, staying patient, just kept ticking. And then when he gave it to James McAtee here, this is just nice. It's the position you want to get him in. He sold me with that dummy as well. And then the composure to find the pass, and it's a great finish. You know, and that must have felt so good for him. And, you know, I like McAtee. I think it was probably a minute before that he dropped in a nasty little nutmeg as well.
Yeah, he did.
So,
filthy.
Yeah, exactly. It's great to see, and I'm hearing good things about him. Obviously, it's a great goal, it's a great finish, and it's a great moment. and hopefully there's more for him. But like I say, there was just a spell for McAtee where I quite enjoyed his play.
Yeah, he's a player that gets talked about a lot, James McAtee. He's been spoken up by Pep Guardiola as well. But Edozie was one that I said look forward to seeing. And we've got a couple clips from him here actually as well. He really looked like cause quite a threat, I think, all game, didn't he, for Preston?
Yes, he certainly did. Yeah, he certainly did. You know, you need people, I think, in football who aren't just the ones who are just going to run with the ball. You know, you have to be able to be making runs. You have to be trying to be dynamic, try and go up against your defender, make it hard for him. Because, like I said earlier, if you play the game and and as a defender it's completely in front of you, it's the easiest game going. But with people like Edozie, they go and take it to you, they take it at you. And for these Preston players, the second half would have been heartbreaking for them in some ways, because the fact is, they're a grown man's team, they're a professional team, and they were playing against a lot of players there who they'd never seen, who were essentially playing EDS football. But when they really come and take it down your throat like this, it's horrible. That's a great ball into the box. And the right back's thinking to himself, like, what have I signed myself up for here? I'm being dragged around here, and I don't know who's doing it. You know, that's a weird position to be in, but like I say, the directness, I absolutely love it.
We've mentioned now a couple of players. Were there any other players that stood out to you, or maybe you'd look forward to maybe see again, possibly at all?
I'd like to see all of them again, to be honest. Yeah. I think this year I'm going to invest more in seeing more of the youth football, because there's some players there who I can see have certainly got a bit, and you know, it was frustrating for me because I didn't have a team sheet, so I was looking out on the field. And there were certain people I recognised and others where it just seemed like they were just techno. There were 11 technos out there, and it was breaking my heart to see that name on their back. You know what I mean? But I think it's exciting based on the success that the academy and stuff have had last year, and to see them coming up through this now. And obviously, it wasn't the perfect game, but there's a lot of potential out there. So it's definitely something I'm going to have to keep my eye on.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, I mean, a lot of potential out there. Reason being as well because not all our first team players are coming back. So I guess now as they are drip fed into the team, not only is it going to be great for the young players to see them, but better for us as well, because we're going to get our first team back together.
100%. For as much as, you know, it was good to see like some of the youngsters coming through and stuff like that. You know, City, right, the Premier League champions. You want to see that champions winning team, don't you? So you want to see them back, and they'll be back. And hopefully, when the season starts, people are feeling good, and they can begin the defence of that title. Of course, yet again.
And one man who's going to lead that charge is, of course, the man in which we trust, none other than Pep Guardiola. Here he is now speaking at full time, 2-0 against Preston North End in our pre-season friendly.
And it was an opportunity for a lot of young players tonight. So what did you make of their performance?
All of them, they play really good. All of them. So the team is in better condition right now, but they were committed, and when we spoke, they did it well, and even with mistakes, it doesn't matter. They did it really well.
And we're a week into pre-season. How has it been for you and the players so far? How good has it been to be back?
We have to adapt. So just 3-4 players in the first team. Every week it's coming players. Hopefully they come back and they can train and don't have to rest or be isolated. And I know we don't have time, because in 10, 11 days, 12 days, we have the Community Shield, and with just 3 players, but we're going to play with the players of the second team, and yeah, we're going to try.
And it was 2 months without a game for you, so how important has that rest been for you personally after the hectic last 18 months we've had?
Yeah, of course, for everybody. It's after a tough season. Every season is so tough, so demanding and important. We need rest. Mentally, the managers or the backroom staff, they have time, but the players were in the European Cup, they didn't have time. That's why they have to rest 3-4 weeks, and they will run late, but we have to give them.
And finally, it's Barnsley up next. What do you want to see from that game? What do you want to get out of these friendlies?
Yeah, recover the principles. They have to restart, you know, to feel comfortable on the pitch, and as much games we can play, better condition they will feel, and yeah, we're going to have the feeling that day by day we can feel better. Important today is no injuries, except the conclusion with the young guy with the keeper, but I think it's going to be well, and no injuries. It is the most important thing, and tomorrow train again.
Brilliant, thanks very much, Pep.
Thank you, guys.
So it's Pep Guardiola giving us thoughts at full time, and we're now joined fresh from his commentating bout, Mr. Sean Goater.
Quickly, huh?
I tell you what. Wow. First of all, how did it all go over there with Alistair Mann?
Absolute average.
Did you miss us?
Well, I tell you what. No, I did. Listen, I enjoyed that. I also enjoy her. But it was interesting because they bought, we bought on 10 players. And I was like, right, 10 players. Didn't know one of them. Because truthfully, I haven't seen the kids play for a while. Normally when you see him play half a dozen games, you start to know the skill, the ability. And I was looking, and as the game's going on, I'm starting to see, all right, this is what he's got in his game. But very impressed with him, as always. These guys are technically good, where they move the ball. They led, and I think it's Dozo.
Yeah.
On the left-hand side, he was like, Pep's on his side, give me the ball, I want to run at it, scored himself a goal. So he'll be pleased with his work in terms of what he did. But, yeah, I'm impressed with, obviously, all the boys.
And of course, as well, I mean, in that first half, we saw a couple of the of our first team players, and of course, Riyad Mahrez with the goal. It was nice to see them kind of just getting that game time and
yeah, Mahrez. I mean, the free kick, it didn't quite go in the top corner, but I think the goalkeeper's thinking he's going to go to my right. This is what the goalkeeper's thinking, and with that low fraction of a delay, he's going to his left, and when he's decided to go, it's just too late. He can't go there. He can't get there, and it's not quite in the corner. So some commentators will say, well, the goalkeeper perhaps should save it, but I think he's thinking Mahrez is going to my right, and with him delaying, he can't get across there to save it. Beautiful free kick, though. Beautiful free kick.
Another player was instrumental in that, and of course we were singling him out at half-time, is none other than Cole Palmer, and here he is speaking at full-time.
Cole, welcome back, and congratulations on the win. How did you find that first 45 minutes back out there tonight?
Yeah, it was good to be back out there, obviously, with the lads. Really enjoyed the game, and hopefully it's just a start now for me and the team to have a good season.
And you're really involved in the first half.
Yeah.
Are you starting to feel more and more at home in this environment, in the first team environment?
Yeah, I've always felt at home ever since I went over last year. The lads make you feel really welcome, and yeah, to be involved is just good. You just need to keep going now.
And second half, some of the younger lads from the academy that you've been with, they held on and got the win. How impressed are you with their performance?
Yeah, when it came out, they played well. I thought they showed courage and was brave, and yeah, it showed, and they played well.
And what did Pep say to you before the game about what he wants to see from the team? Is it just about getting minutes for you guys, or is there tactical things to work on?
It's more about getting minutes, but always keep the ball, be patient, and just hopefully find openings, which we did.
And it's Barnsley up next.
Yeah.
I guess you'll be seeing these pre-season friendlies as a chance for you to really stake a claim and show what you can do again.
Yeah, definitely. Every game, when I've got to try and break in, I have to show what I can do, and hopefully against Barnsley I can show what I can do again.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Cole.
Thank you. Cheers.
That was Cole Palmer there speaking. Cole Palmer speaking. Speaking at full time there, and Sean, you just said it there as well. I mean, you were also very impressed with him.
Yeah, I liked it because he pops up in low areas and he's exceptionally quick. You don't really see it, but all of a sudden he darts off 5 yards here, 8 yards here. His movement, his lateral sort of movement is really quick. So I saw him pop up in the little pockets. I love his movement, his intelligence, and his ability on the ball. So I love to see a little bit more of him because he really impressed me.
I mean, we were talking before the game, Nadim, of course, we reminded him of Mahrez, but I feel like he added a few more things to it, was able to showcase a few more elements to his game in the first half.
Yeah, for sure. I think playing in that different position, because last time we saw him together, I think he was out on that right-hand side, whereas in this time he was a bit deeper and he had more sort of space to roam into. You can just see he's really good on the ball. You can manipulate it really well. Doesn't really give the ball away. He's got perfect weight of a pass. Reads the game well. Basically, again, it's another reason why I'm happy to be retired, because I wouldn't be able to deal with years and years of players like this coming towards me.
Yeah.
It just would be no fun.
No one wants that.
No, nobody wants that at all.
He is, of course, one of the players that has been promoted to join in the men's first team this season, so hopefully we'll be seeing lots more of him. You've heard there as well, we have managed to squeeze in another pre-season game that's going to be taking place this Saturday against Barnsley. I think it's a 6 p.m. kickoff. Don't quote me on that. It is a 6 p.m. kickoff. I got it right. So that'll be happening on Saturday. Gents, as we look towards this next game, is it just a kind of case of the same stuff? Cole mentioned it there and Pep mentioned it, kind of fitness and sticking to the principles. Do you think it will be more of that for that game?
Yeah, you'd expect so. I don't think people are really going to be entering that game thinking, well, if they win it, then it means the season's going to be fantastic. The fact is, you have to keep preparing, and it's another game. It's another chance to get run out. It's another chance to get the combinations right. And there might be more players back in for City by that point. So ultimately, it's another opportunity, as I say, to get prepared for the season. And I think when they think about the long game, all these games do matter.
And Sean, I've got a final word from you.
Yeah, Nadim's absolutely right. The combinations all over the park, whether it's centre-backs, full-backs with wide players, the midfield, the three, that little triangle. We know City like to make a box with that. because we have 210s. All those areas, those combinations, making sure that that's right. So again, it's about getting minutes, understanding what Pep is wanting, and that we could avoid injuries. For me, the injury, the keeper's done everything right. I think it was just how he landed on the ground. He stalled in coming out, which was right. The ball come off the surface, he gathers into his arms, and as he goes to the side, just the collision, which was nothing wrong because they both sort of hit back to back. It was just how he landed on the ground. I think that really caused him a bit of discomfort.
Yes, well, of course, sending all our well wishes to Kieran Slicker as well. Now, before we wrap up, only a final quick question. Lots of young players on the pitch. Who was the standout for you both this evening?
Goodness.
I know.
Well, listen, I got to get his name. The lad that set up the goal.
James McAtee.
Listen, that move. That move is worth it right there.
Some sautéed onions,
there
possibly.
Was some sautéed onions. That was sweet, I'm telling you.
I can't go against the big man.
No, we'll take that. James McAtee, there we go as well. Well, listen, gents, it's been so good to be back. A massive thank you, of course, to Sean Gota and Nader Manua, and thank you to all you brilliant people at home for joining us. It really is so great to be back. That is our first pre-season game. We're going to be back for the second one that has just been announced with Barnsley. Kickoff is at 6 p.m, but remember, we're with you an hour before every game. So join us at 5 p.m, and I'm sure you'll be able to watch that. Guess where? City Plus. Just go and subscribe. I have missed you. I have missed football. We are back, and hopefully this will be the start of a very successful season for Manchester City. We'll see you on Saturday, and have a wonderful week until then. Gents, thank you. Thank you to you. Good night.